back again. It's scary old Pappy. Well, you notice I haven't talked much about suspension and the wheels. Well, now that's where we're gonna go. We're gonna start talking about the wheels and how to make your bicycle wheels into wagon wheels. This is the wheels now with the spokes put on it. The spokes are made from common ordinary drip tubing, 5/8 in this case, but 1/2 inch will work too. I have not done the hubs yet. The hubs are going to be important to making it look more like a wagon wheel. At night, the little spokes from the bicycles just kind of disappear. So this is a pretty good setup. I'll show you what I did. To start with, one of the things that you have to do is to shift the axle from a balance of left to right all the way over onto one side. And as you can see, I've got the bearing nut and the lock nut on all the way tight on one side, and then on this side we have it the other way. You may have to get extra nuts because you're going to need them to make the axle part. On a bicycle wheel, what I used is where the two spokes cross, that is where your wagon spoke is going to go. And that's going to come straight down to this right in here. Where is it? Right here to this spoke. And that's where it's going to go. By slicing the tubing down in this case, and this will vary from wheel to wheel. It's sliced through like this for the side, and then on the back side perpendicular, just one cut there. And this will vary. You're going to have to play with this to see how it works. Now then, once you have the cuts, and again you're going to have to figure it out, the length in that varies. This will go on like this up to the top of there, and then as you follow it down, it's going right down to here, which as you can see there's a spoke, and this goes and pops around on that side of the spoke. Now I'll show you the back. As you can see how that cut wraps around the spoke. And if we follow that up on the other side, you can see how it is back in there. And that's your spoke. You don't need no wire ties, nothing. The next thing we're going to do is the outside hub, and I'll be doing that and putting it on and showing you how that looks. One thing I failed to mention, and that is this is the rear wheel of a single speed bike with what they call coaster brakes, and that's what this is. I've took the parts inside that are the brake out, I took the sprocket off and just put everything back together. Once the hub, when I come up with the hub and put the hub on, you won't see any of this, and it works out good and is great. So in the process of making this using bicycle wheels, you'll need a 26-inch wheel, like off of a beach cruiser or mountain bike, and that becomes the rear set of wheels. And then the front set of wheels, these are 20-inch. And once again, this hub, this is a single speed 20-inch, like your first bike when you were a kid type of thing, and that's it. Once the hub, the plastic hub that's going to go on here is finished, it'll definitely represent a wagon wheel very well. Or you can also just leave it bicycle wheels. It looks good either way. Okay, now we need to finish up the wagon wheels for the hearse. Now as you can see, there's no hub. So what we're going to use for a hub is these little plastic containers that I've decided to use that are cream cheese. And the reason that I use these is because look how cool the bottom looks. Okay? Let me show you how we're going to do that. I've cut a hole in the top about 2.5 inches in diameter. And now we're going to take this and put some holes in it so that we can take and tie that with wire ties on to the wheel so that you can still get to the hub to take it on and off the axle for storage, and also so you can get the hub on there without any damages and without any seams. This is what it'll look like, and I will show a finished version of this with it painted and on the hearse as soon as I get done with it. After cutting the 2.5-inch hole in the center of the lid, what I've done is I've marked three of the spokes and drilled holes around, as you can see, so that you can run wire ties through it, securing the lid to the wheel. And then you can snap the bottom of the plastic dish onto there, and it will look like the hub of a wheel. Now it's on to the paint shop. I'm going to paint them and put them on and show you what it looks like finished. Okay, this is the last stage of the wheels, and that's putting the hubs on so that it looks like a wagon wheel. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and drilled the holes and painted the tubs. And again, these were just like a butter dish tub. This one happened to be cream cheese, as you saw from the earlier video. And now we're going to place this on here like this, and we're going to run the wire ties on there and tie it up, and we'll talk more about that. Give me a second. There's only 2 hands here. As you can see, I have the wire ties on there. They're just loose right now, and what I've done is I've took and put a ruler in here and out to the outside of the rim is like 9 3/16 or 9 1/4, and it doesn't have to be that accurate. Again, it's just a static decoration here. So now what I'm going to do is snug these down, and you don't have to snug them real tight. You just pull them down to where they're kind of snug, because you got to remember the lid has got to there we go, the lid has got to pop on there. So you kind of, yeah, there we go, one more. It's easier to do with 2 hands, but any of you guys that are out there in YouTube land, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's snug down, it's not going to fall off, and now we clip the end off and it'll be ready to put on. Well, this is the last of our journey, and it is totally finished. This is putting on the last of the wheel hub, and then it's done. Right, Mr. Pickles? Okay, if I can do this one-handed. Snaps on, remember, it's a butter dish or whatever you decide to use, and it just snaps on there like that, and that's it. And it is on. And there's our wagon wheel. There's our wagon wheels. How Mr. P. Now we're going to put the rest of it on, the harness and everything, and you're going to see what it looks like finished. There you have it. It's all finished. All the harness work's done. The hearse is done. The wheels are done. Got this crazy green skeleton sitting there. The lights are done. I'll try and videotape it at night and see what it looks like. But there it is in all its beauty. I have less than $175 in this total. That would include the paint, the lights, the strapping, and everything. Minus the horse, that is. But there it is. All right. Was fun doing it.